I feel Megalodon and Airtail might be pretty solid for the M12, and we're gonna see if this guy actually does the trade. Alright, and this player's offering in the concepts. Gonna assume he has a pretty stacked inventory. Let's see what he does for the Megalodon and Broly. I could just do a Megalodon for the crown, I guess. I mean, that works. Hey everyone, today we are trading the Megalodon, and this is honestly one of those vehicles that is completely forgotten in trading, but yeah, I have it right here, and I've got to say it still has a very good design considering when it was released. It used to go for 300k, and actually it was recently buffed and an update by Shadow, so you could actually kind of get an idea of the performance. Now, funny enough, it has the same exact engine sound as the Torpedo, but there is still a big gap in performance. I definitely noticed that it goes like 30 mph faster than when it used to go. Yeah, as you can see here, you could kind of see that for 300k you could get a lot better vehicles. Something like the Ray 9 or Stallion is going to go substantially faster than the Megalodon, but for trading, because those vehicles are still obtainable, it might be a completely different story with the Megalodon. Now, something I will compliment this vehicle on is that it makes some amazing turns, and it has no problems with handling or traction. As you can see here, it makes these turns really easily. I'm only having to let go off the accelerator in order to make those turns, which is pretty phenomenal considering with most other vehicles like the Torpedo, I have to just full on put on the brakes. Now, the downfall with this vehicle, I think it was just to do with the price. I remember when this vehicle was added. Now, if you wanted to know what this vehicle looked like in the OG days, it's actually pretty funny, but literally no one ever used it, so it's literally the same as now. Even when it was added back in the OG days of Jailbreak, I have never seen anybody use this vehicle. I would always see people using other alternatives to this vehicle like the Lamborghini. I think in a lot of ways the Lamborghini was actually better than the Megalodon, and part of that was because the Lamborghini was 100k and it wasn't all that much slower than the Megalodon. In fact, I actually think the Megalodon was a little bit worse than the Lamborghini when it released. It definitely had slightly faster acceleration, but it felt like the Lamborghini's price was just a lot better. It felt like the value of the Lamborghini was just so much better than the Megalodon. I mean, I think that I actually did significantly regret buying this vehicle, but while this might seem to be a bad thing, I actually think that this works out in training because not a lot of people own this vehicle. I think it is actually one of the rare vehicles, and when you're comparing it to some of the other vehicles, like a lot of people say the Icebreaker is rare, well, I actually feel that the Megalodon is even rarer than the Icebreaker. Now, only Azima knows the exact benchmarks, but seriously, I've seen way more Icebreakers than I've seen Megalodons. The Icebreaker's speed and performance is not all that different from the Megalodon, so let me know what you guys think. Should this be the next like big vehicle? I mean, you guys remember all that crew capsule craze and the Icebreaker craze. I feel that is eventually coming to the Megalodon. Like, why wouldn't it? Like, it's basically exactly the same like the Icebreaker, and it feels basically just as rare as it. So I mean, let me know what you guys think about that. But I know you guys are here for trading, so we're going to be seeing what players offer for the Megalodon. Alright, we've got our first trade, and this player is actually adding in the Macron, which is interesting. I did actually have to throw in the Shell Classic to balance it out for a Macron. Alright, perfect. We've got another trade over here, and this player is offering in the M12, so we're going to have to throw it in with a bigger vehicle. I feel Megalodon and Airtail might be pretty solid for the M12, and we're going to see if this guy actually does the trade. I'm going to look through his inventory, and yeah, he doesn't actually have all that much else, so pretty much his only vehicle is the M12, and he's actually asking for the Broly. You're kidding me. He wants a Broly for the M12? Nah, man. The M12 is like less than half of the value of the Broly, so I'm just going to have to pass on that trade. Alright, we've got another player over here, and we're going to be throwing in the Megalodon. I definitely don't see a point in trading for a Hyperchrome. There's just no reason for me to do this, so I'm probably just going to back out of this trade. Alright, we've got another player over here, and his name is Simplicity. That's actually a really cool name. Anyways, we're going to be throwing in the Megalodon over here, and let's see his inventory real quick. Oh, wow, he actually has a lot of Model 3s. What on earth? Model 3 collector? Why? Why do you have so many Model 3s, my man? Why on earth does he have so many Model 3s? That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, that being said, I don't think he has anything that I'm really looking for, but wow, that is actually hilarious. He has so many Model 3s, it's not even funny. Oh, he threw in a Javelin right over there, but now he's offering just the Trailblazer. I think I would be able to get the Javelin for pretty cheap, although I kind of don't want to trade away the Megalodon, if you know what I mean. So we've actually got a pretty interesting trade going on over here. Now, he wants the JB8 for the Javelin, crown, which I think is a little bit too much. And he said he would add, but then he didn't end up adding. He just was going to offer the javelin, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that shit is pretty interesting because he wasn't like adding whatsoever. He just had like a bunch of Model 3s, I guess. All right, and this player is offering in the concepts. Gonna assume he has a pretty stacked inventory. Let's see what he does for the Megalodon and Broly. Now, he did throw in the concept, so I guess that is pretty decent. But I kind of don't want the blue texture. I feel this is decent, but he did throw in a blue texture and the 3 billion spoiler, which I can never get rid of. Like, I don't care how many times people say those items have this much value, but I can't sell them whatsoever. And actually ended up removing them. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do that trade. Perfect. We got another trade over here, and we're throwing in the Megalodon. So, wow, he just declined me right away. Okay, I guess that's going to be a given with this vehicle. I don't know what's going on with this server, but it's like a lot of people just want stuff, but then they just decline right away. I don't know, really weird. All right, we've got this player right here, and he's thrown in the crown in Shell Classic. So I think I do have to add because it is the Shell Classic. But let's see over here. I could just do a Megalodon for the crown, I guess. I mean, that works. Wait, let's see how many times his Shell Classic was traded. Okay, once, and mine is traded 6 times, which is, I guess, fair enough. But I actually kind of see if I can lowball him with a $1 million vehicle. Will this actually work? Megalodon and drone for a crown and Shell Classic. Like, basically, because the crown is pretty easy to get, I think that would be pretty fair enough. Yeah, let me know what you think about this trade. I'm probably not going to do it because I'm not really gaining all that much, and I already have 2 Shell Classics, but I feel that is pretty decent. But he does have a lot of other things he could add. All right, so we got one last trade for the Megalodon over here, and it looks like this guy just has the Model 3s. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be trading this vehicle for a Model 3, but I am going to just do one more trade, and it looks like this player has a really cool outfit, so let's see what he does end up offering. All right, there you go. This will be the last trade for this video, and we've got this player, which has a pretty decent inventory, but he also has the Megalodon, so that means I don't know if we'd be able to do anything in this trade. However, I'm going to try adding in the Broly. I want to end off on something interesting, although I don't really know what else he'd really add for the Broly. Like, let's see what he's saying. He wants me to do Bandit and Macron. I'm going to throw in the Macron and see what this guy does for the Megalodon and Macron. Okay, he still wants the Bandit. Let's see what he ends up doing for Megalodon, Macron, and Bandit. And he offers, like, immediately, but I do kind of want him to add just a little bit. Yeah, so he wants the Bandit and Macron for the M12, which I don't think I'm going to be doing really. Yeah, I don't really see a point in doing that just because there isn't really enough room for me to work with there. But anyways, I'm probably just going to end up leaving this trade. I hope you were able to take away what this vehicle is worth. It's a really interesting vehicle. It's got a great history in Jailbreak, and yeah, I feel this is going to be eventually a vehicle that is going to be worth a lot more than it currently is right now, just because there isn't all that many people who own it. I only saw like one other player who owned it this entire video, and I did a lot of trades. So if you want to see some other videos in this Jailbreak trading series, then there is a playlist in the description below. Now, if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton. And that being said, I'll see you in the next Jailbreak trading video.